Welcome to an interview with James Travers. I'm Jerry Katz. James, how you doing?
I'm well, Jerry, and I'm happy to be here.
James lives in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. He's been practicing yoga since 1975 and teaching throughout Canada since 1985. James studied personally with Dr. Jean Klein, one of the renowned teachers of non-duality in recent times. James also studied with B.K.S. Iyengar, one of the most well-known yoga teachers of our generation. Iyengar's practice of yoga brings and clarifies the wisdom of the Yoga Sutras to practitioners. The Yoga Sutras are classic texts of non-duality. In James Travers, we find the fusion of non-duality and yoga in a set of teachings and practices that can be accessed by anyone who wants to understand their life, their existence, and to pursue it. And before we get into some background with you, James, can you tell us what is non-duality?
Well, I can tell you my understanding of non-duality, and the words are that non-duality means not two. It's associated with the Eastern philosophical tradition of Advaita Vedanta. Advaita means without duality, and Vedanta means, Veda means knowledge, and anti means behind or beyond. So non-duality is that understanding which is beyond knowledge, and it is an understanding that is without separation, so it's an integrated understanding. And what I'm presently saying is an intellectual definition. What's really important when one is exploring non-duality is the experiential understanding of non-duality. So what I'd like to share with you, if you're willing, is a process that will help you more intellectual or more experientially understand what non-duality is. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. This is really straightforward, Jerry. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just raise one finger up in space, one index finger up in space. Close your eyes. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just going to ask you a number of questions about this finger and what's experienced.
Okay.
So first, tell me, what's experienced right now? Do you feel a finger when that finger is up in space? What do you experience at this moment?
Probably space.
Okay. So do you feel a finger?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Again, just experientially say what you experience. So if you don't really experience a finger, that's fine.
I don't experience a finger as such.
Okay, good. Now, please keep your eyes closed, but touch something other than your body with that finger.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as you're contacting whatever it is you're presently touching, tell me, what do you experience?
I experience whatever I'm touching, I guess.
So how does that show up?
Stalk of the plant.
Okay, it's what you call the stalk of the plant.
Yeah.
How does that show up experientially? What do you actually experience?
I experience the feeling of the stalk, the smoothness of it.
Okay, so is it right to say that the smoothness or the hardness is a sensation, and that what you're experiencing is a sensation? Is that accurate?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Do you experience a finger?
I experience what the finger touches. I experience the stalk. I experience the sensation.
Do you experience a finger?
I don't think of the finger.
Okay.
No, I guess I don't experience the finger.
Please take your finger back up into space.
Okay.
Now what is experienced?
I guess that space again.
Do you experience a finger?
No.
Okay.
Not as such.
Is there anything there other than that feeling of space?
No.
Okay. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything particularly. If that's what you experience, that's what you experience. So if there's nothing other than space, then that's fine. That's what you're experiencing.
I mean, I know there's a finger there, and I suppose if I move it, I can feel subtle things. But that's just subtle versions of the stalk, I guess.
Okay.
So
do you experience a finger?
There's no finger without the sensations, I suppose, huh?
please touch something different than what you touched the first time with that finger. Okay, now as you touch this something which is different, what is experienced now?
The feel of the material back here, the texture of it.
Okay, so again, it's a sensation, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you feel a finger?
I feel a sensation. I don't feel a finger as such.
Okay. Please take your finger back up into space. Now what is experienced?
Again, just the nothingness.
Okay. So now please open your eyes. You can relax your hand. And the rest of this experiment I'm going to ask you to do with your previous experience and with your imagination. So imagine you've just injured your finger severely. You've just bashed it with a hammer, and it's now throbbing and pulsating in pain. When you hold your finger up in space after having just injured it the way I just described, do you experience a finger, or what do you experience?
Experience the pain.
Do you experience a finger from your previous experience?
Not as such. Experience the pain.
Experience the pain.
I wouldn't call it a finger, I call it pain.
Okay. If we were to do the experiments we just did, and I asked you to touch the plant, or I asked you to touch the fabric on the wall, would you experience a finger in that case? From your previous experience, you've just injured your finger. What would you experience when you touch the plant when your finger has been injured severely?
The pain.
Would you experience a finger?
No. I would experience pain. Pain, a stalk, whatever I touch, I guess.
Right. So here's my point, and the whole point of this experiment is that functionally, for the finger to function, it has to be empty of itself. And when it is empty of itself, that is the non-dual way of being. It is experiential. There is nothing there, yet that spaciousness is available to receive and accurately allow the presence of what actually is. So that presence of being that is experienced with your finger is also available through all the other sense doors. We could do a similar sort of experience with sound with your ears. We could talk about rose-colored glasses covering your eyes, or we could talk about you having a bitter taste in your mouth. What it ultimately leads to in terms of understanding is that if you encounter someone, either yourself or someone that you encounter who is full of themselves, well, that person who is full of themselves doesn't see things the way that they actually are. Like the finger, what we really have is an idea of the finger, or an idea of ourselves. And this blocks authentic understanding and authentic ways of being that let things simply be as they are. Allows the things that allows a spaciousness to allow the presence of things as they are is the practice of non-duality. And the experience of this, the living experience of this, is what non-duality actually is.